So now we're going to get into writing listings and writing an optimized listing. So there's a difference between just writing what you feel people are searching for or throwing together or copying the title of a bestseller. As we just saw, the bestseller of the dog beds was not very good at Amazon. Like, even though they're the bestseller, they could be even better, right? So just trying to copy the bestseller isn't always going to be the best idea. It's to upstream the keyword research into the listing that's going to have the best chances for ranking and the highest ranking juice, so that you can optimize and maximize your returns. So let's go ahead and jump back into this presentation and get going. So how to optimize a listing with a master keyword list. So the three things to keep in mind are that you need relevancy. So relevancy is going to be established through the different root words, making sure you don't have any holes, that you don't have any holes in the indexing, you're not missing any big roots. Also, that you're putting the right order, like the right match type. Broad search volume matters. So even though you've got an exact match type of a keyword, if it's the 10th most important root word or keyword, it won't, that's probably not the one that deserves to be in the title. The root representation is super important. You want to make sure you don't have any holes there as well. So relevancy, the main lever for determining keyword rank, we went through this earlier with regards to how the algorithm works. The keyword might have a lower relevancy if many sellers are bad at Amazon. So even though it's a highly relevant keyword, if most of your competitors are not good, it might appear like the relevancy of the keyword isn't very good, but you can usually determine whether that's true or not by going and searching the search term and seeing what's ranking for those keywords. The Data Dive is defining the relevancy differently from Amazon. So we're basically counting the current competitors, and we're giving you an idea of what's relevant based on the current sellers and what we're determining from the data. So how to optimize a listing with a master keyword list. This is where we're going to really look at broad search volume and roots, and we're going to decide how to write a listing. So we've got visible search volume here. If you look at the master keyword list, you'll see that you see total search volume, outlier search volume, and then visible search volume. This visible search volume will be those keywords that are really driving most of the sales. And then we've got a search volume of 97%. So let's look at the optimized listing with a master keyword list and get an idea. When we went through those roots earlier and I checked the boxes of which ones I thought were roots, we'll do that again with this example. This is a toiletry bag, but it can also be called a bathroom bag, a dop kit, a cosmetic bag. If you search for just the ones that are mostly for makeup and for women, you're going to get different roots for those as well. So it's important that if you're going to do a search and you're just looking at the overall market for like a travel bathroom bag or a travel bag, right? Then you're going to get a mix between women's, men's, canvas, leather, right? You're going to get all these different mixes. Men in a lot of areas call it a dop kit. Like in the United States, many people here probably have never heard of that term before, dop kit. But if you're searching for the cosmetic side, then you're going to see toiletry bag for women as a big root, bag women, right? We're not selling bag women, right? So I didn't circle that one. Travel toiletry bag, even though this was more for cosmetics, a man could potentially use it. Toiletry bag, traveling, and cosmetic travel bag. So these were the roots here. Let me see if I missed any. Travel bag, toiletry. No new words here because we got travel, toiletry bag, and it's a different order. It could be. But this is giving us an idea of how to think about root words that are relevant and then how we should prioritize these. This is going to be the foundation for writing this listing. So problems from incorrect root representation. This is like if you don't write your listing properly, you're going to confuse Amazon's algorithm. You write the wrong word, the wrong phrase, you call something different. Amazon's going to think you're selling. So take that example. If I call it a dop kit, but I'm really selling the makeup bag, or like a hanging makeup bag or a hanging toiletry bag, and I leave the word hanging out, but I put like dop kit, Very different products, but Amazon's going to think I'm selling the other one. So now I'm never going to rank for the one that I really am selling. So it's super important that you really understand which keywords mean what when you write your listing, and that you're not just trying to maximize search volume. You're really trying to like maximize the relevancy and establish the relevancy for Amazon with the right roots. So another thing is that you'll have no rank for the keywords contained with the missing root. So you'll see on the master keyword list, you've got like the green, and we saw that when we looked at the example before, and I can show you again with the dog bed. And then trouble ranking for ranking highly for certain keywords. Remember, you can't unlock that bank account and rank if you don't establish that relevancy. So let's look at an example of incorrect roots. Now, this is a real case study that happened with one of my listings. This is actually my one of my products. And I looked at it after the launch because I went and I just wanted to audit what my team had done with a product launch. And I was looking at the keyword ranks, and we have the same SOP that we teach in the Inner Circle, which is, you track all these different roots and keywords with above a certain relevancy and search volume. And so I went in and I saw that there was no indexing. There were indexing issues with not just these two keywords, but with a bunch of keywords. And I went back and I looked at the master keyword list, and I looked at the title, and I saw that they had established good relevancy for only the plural, but they didn't establish relevancy for the singular. And so Amazon didn't think that the singular was relevant. So they were having trouble ranking for it. All I did was go in and write the singular. I changed one of those plural keywords into a singular keyword that was still a big keyword based on the master keyword list. And I immediately ranked in the top 5 for both of those keywords. From not being indexed at all on any page to top 5, because I had the credit in the bank from that plural credit I was getting, and from the keywords that I was targeting on the PPC. I had all that credit in the bank. All it took for me to do was now establish the relevancy and immediately unlock it. That case study is really what leads to us understanding the algorithm at a very high level, so that we can build tools like Data Dive to help you do the same thing. It's that trial and error. It's the things that we've done right and wrong in our business, and it's the different data that we can collect from all the things that we've tested that can help you with the tools that we build, because we built it with our understanding of the algorithm based on real data, real situations, and real scenarios like this one. Not only, what's interesting, not only did we establish this higher organic rank immediately, this sponsored rank went way up. So this one shows 17 here, maybe not as aggressive, but this one's number 3 for sponsored rank. Before this got indexed, this ad wouldn't even show up. It was like page 2 or 3, the ad was showing up and I had to pay a lot. But with the same bid, it immediately went to top of search, because now relevancy also impacts your PPC placement. So how you write your listing impacts the amount you pay for ads and the way where your ad shows up, because they take into account relevancy for showing ads as well, which makes sense. They don't want someone searching for dog food and seeing a bunch of dog beds and ads, right? That's exactly the reason that relevancy matters for ads as well. So we're going to calculate the maximum ranking juice score. And so what are the different things we need to look at? We need that location multiplier, so where it is. We need to look at the match type, so exact, phrase, plural, broad, for example. And then we got broad search volume, so the combined search volume of all the keywords with those roots. Once you look at all of those, you can, that's kind of how our algorithm works. And then we put our own twist on it. So to get the maximum ranking juice, you want to maximize the location, the match type, and the root words. Make sure you're using keywords and root words that have the highest broad search volume. So now we're going to do a practical exercise. Instead of dog hat, I did dog bed. I apologize. So we're going to go in and we're actually going to write the listing for a dog bed. Let's determine what roots are the most important, and then we're going to write a title with the maximum ranking juice and using those roots. Now we've got dog bed here. We already went through the roots and we kind of determined which roots were the most important, right? Dog bed large, bed large dog, dog bed large dog. These reversed were important. This had this one had the extra dog at the end, so we're not going to count it. Dog bed medium dog, different order, so that's important because they're just different words there. Dog bed furniture, large dog bed, pet bed, washable, puppy, XL. So really what we're seeing is just what are the extra words here. We've got XL, puppy, washable, pet, and large in the front, furniture, medium. Okay. I think that's good. So now we've established what roots are the most important. Let's go through our listing builder. And you'll see here with the listing builder that what you're seeing on the left are all those roots, right? And it's sorted by broad search volume here. And then we've got the keywords here. Now the T is title, the B is bullets, and the D is description. You can see that you can write your bullets, you can write your description, and it'll count what keywords are you've written, and it'll count what root words you've written. So this is why this tool is so powerful, because you make sure you don't have any holes, that you really cover everything. Now the ideal is that you're going to have as many green as possible in the title, then as many green as possible in the bullets, and as many green as possible in the description. You're going to cover as much as possible, right? The ideal is that there's not a single root word that is missing, right? Once you get all the way down and you're hitting all the most important ones, you don't have any holes there. So even pillow down here, like dog pillow or whatever, right? So it's interesting. And let's see, we've got, let's compare our competitors. So over here on the right side, we've got the listing ranking juice leaderboard. You'll see that all the way down here at the end is my listing. I've got a 0 score so far for my whole listing, but I'm interested in just the title. So I'm going to click on title. And the highest score here is this one, 3,397,000. Well, let's copy that one. So you see here that you can copy it pretty easily. And then let's paste it in here. And then let's hit enter and see, we should have the same score, the 3.3 million. But let's see what they're doing right and wrong. What are they missing, if anything? And what you're seeing here is that they've got dog beds and furniture here missing. Now they've done a good job. They've got a lot of these roots here, but they're missing the furniture root. Beds medium. Remember, some of these are the same thing. They're just different orders, and we're not selling beds medium. So I'm not as worried as about, remember, my root list that I consider the most important was not a straight line. It was, remember, I established what roots were most important to me. So we got to go back and check those. Clearance seems like a good one, right? What words are in clearance that are most important? So if we click on clearance, we've got dog beds for large dogs clearance. Okay. And then pet beds for large dogs clearance, extra large beds. A lot of clearance keywords, but the two main ones are here with the most search volume. So that's interesting. Washable. So washable dog bed. If we click on that, we got washable dog bed's a big keyword. I want to hit washable. So let's go ahead and add washable. What are they doing in their title that doesn't matter based on the keywords that we have? Fluffy kennel pad. Take that out. After character 150, you don't get a lot of indexing, guys. That's you'll see that you don't really get a lot of ranking juice after character 150 in the title, because Amazon's not going to index you as much. So right now we're at 80% of 160, 160, 200. Dog bed crate pad. What is this product? Let me make sure that this is a real competitor. Yeah, they call this a crate pad, but it's really a dog bed, right? Yeah. It's a good angle. I wonder how big of a keyword this is, this crate pad, but it's very interesting. We're not, depending on what we were going to sell, we would work on that one. So let me go to the next one. I'm gonna go with this one. So this one was at 3.3 million. Remember, and so what's good is it also keeps track of all your variations here, all your different titles that you've tried. So you can go back to one if it was better. Let me get rid of washable. Let's go all the way up. Let's see. So these are the roots it's got. Large dog bed, washable. It does have washable, pet bed, large. Let's see what it's missing. It's missing bed, large dog. Now we would write a lot of these variation specific keywords into the variations to make sure that we still get credit for them. So this one's a little bit tricky because it's got a lot of sizes, right? Large and medium and small, right? But dog beds for medium dogs, huge keyword. We've got dog beds for medium dogs, dog beds for large dogs. So if we wanted to, this is big orthopedic dog beds. I don't remember seeing orthopedic anywhere, do you? Let's see if it's a root. Nope. No one searches for orthopedic. It might be something that triggers a sale, but so if my dog bed could be considered orthopedic, I might, if that's a really big benefit that I think the buyer might be looking for. Remember, you got to think about the psychology of the buyer. If they might be looking for orthopedic, I don't put it in the title. I could put it in the first bullet. I could put it in the second image. I could put it in the A+. I could trigger that somewhere else without taking up valuable real estate. So I don't, big is a keyword, but dog beds with removable washable cover. I don't think that that's an exact keyword because we had washable. Dog beds for large dogs. This is large dog bed for large dogs. Let's go with beds. Remember, this is the plural, large dog beds for large dogs. This is only a plural match. So we want to, I changed this. Dog beds. So I changed this to match the correct plural because that dot means it's only an exact plural. Let's see, and then we're gonna remove this. Egg crate foam pet bed mat. Let's go dog beds for medium dogs. I just don't want to repeat it there. And then dog beds and furniture. Washable dog bed. And then this one's going to be $3.9 million. We're the new leader, guys. And let's see, we've got a bunch of greens. We're doing good. Look at all the extra roots we've hit. Look at the magic already. We hit so many more roots just by hitting these words in order because the relevancy, the ranking juice, we could see what's so important. Now we've got extra large dogs here, but you know, we could probably throw that in as a broad match into here because we're gonna target it more specifically with the bigger ones, and we want to make sure we establish it. But it's it's way down there. Extra, XL, puppy. I like puppy. Puppy's a really good one. But puppy, if we come over here, we're not targeting puppy. It's only got 6 keywords and 17,000. Clearance is more important. 31 keywords. Large dog bed. Now we're not really on clearance, so I don't like to put that in the title. I don't want to show that we're like, why is it on clearance? It's going to make people question whether they should buy it. Like maybe it wasn't a good seller. Maybe there's something wrong with it, right? So washable dog bed and furniture, dog beds for medium dogs. This is let's not put the weight unless we're going to do different sizes. We could do puppy bed, XL dog bed, and dog pillow. There we go. I've just written a few more in there in exact form. We go from 3.9 million ranking juice to 4 million ranking juice. Um, again, we're hitting as many roots as possible. I think large dog bed's a big one I need to get in there. Why is this large dog bed? Large dog bed. Oh, I have large dog beds. That's why. Okay. This one is plural match. Remember, it's not established, so that does matter. So what's the best keyword for large dog? Probably large dog bed is the best keyword for large dog. But yeah, because we have it, but it's just in plural. And it's by far it's a really big one. So we do want we can put it there. So this is going to be a broad match for XL dog bed, which wasn't as important as large dog bed. XL is covered as a root. Ranking juice now goes up a little bit from 4,041,000 to 4,080,000. So you guys see the iteration that we're going through to write this listing and make sure there's no holes and that we're going. I want to open it up to questions here during this exercise. So Aparna, go ahead. Yeah. Marlene, I can't see hands, so if you can call on people in order, but and unmute them if they need help.
Okay,
Thank you.
Aparna. We can't hear you, Aparna. Maybe we should go with David first.
Maybe you can ask them. Oh, her mic is she is unmuted, but we just can't hear her. Did the settings on her mic get turned off? Check the up button on your Zoom and check the microphone settings and see if you can change which microphone is the input. Can't hear you. I'm sorry, David.
Hey, Brandon. Now I have a couple of points or questions. So the word Bedshore, is that the brand name, and does that have to be removed first?
Yeah, this would just be yours, like whatever your brand name is.
Okay, but how do we know that that's not lending any ranking juice?
We would know from the roots. Like when we go to the master keyword list, we can search there. I haven't really done too many exclusions here, so like you should clean up the list. I think we I did clean up any branded. Like this button right here.
Right.
So Bedshore is not one of these.
Okay. So but my other question, if you go back to that. So
let me see. I just want to make sure bed. Yeah. They're not a brand name.
Okay. So in that listing builder, the highest search volume by far is dog bed. So if you go back to that title that you have in your first words, you have the plural version of that. And I also noticed that in dog beds and furniture, you're leaving 27,000 on the table. So if you make that large dog bed and then make the second phrase washable dog beds and furniture, will that give you the remaining ranking juice?
Let's see. We're going to go from 4,080,000 to 4,008,000. So we lost some.
So, but why would that be? Oh, because now I don't know what you're losing there.
We were losing the plural match for this one.
Got it.
And we were losing the this one became a plural match too, washable dog bed.
But you don't want to prioritize putting dog bed first since it has such a high search volume?
I think that we're gonna hit it everywhere else. Like we got it here, really, right? Like it's in so many places.
And if it's
and it's really hard to rank for that because it's so competitive.
Got it. And now since it's in the middle of a larger phrase, does it automatically like recognize that?
It's gonna like it really depends on the algorithm how it's feeling that day.
Right.
If it's in the middle of like a 7-word phrase or 8-word phrase, it can really struggle with picking up 2 or 3 words.
Right.
But if it's like 4 words and you just want it to build 2 or 3 words out of those 4, sometimes it can be a lot better doing that at doing that.
Yeah, no, I try to like put in those main words, but not to make them look like clunky on their own to be part of a phrase, but then how long do you make that phrase without it losing those?
Yeah, you end up losing. You do end up getting hurt there sometimes, and you've got to be careful. I'd rather just put the exact phrase as close as possible. Maybe add one word or two words, but that's it. Because I've seen too many times where I've seen too many times where you struggle to rank, and all you do is isolate the keyword, and then all of a sudden it unlocks it. Like for some reason, it just wouldn't read the relevancy the right way. It wouldn't figure out the keyword the right way.
Right. Okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no worries. Aparna, did you figure it out? Do you want to leave and come back maybe? I think it's just your setting, your microphone input setting. So it's one of your settings. But Neil, go ahead.
Hi, can you hear me?
Gotcha.
Okay. In my niche, I've noticed a lot of the top products, they're not using like commas like you are in their title. They're just doing long sentences, getting all the exact phrase keywords in there.
I go back and forth between the dashes and commas. A dash is really going to establish separation because it's 3 spaces. So the way that you have to understand the way the computer reads a comma is it just is a space. So what you're doing is you're giving it a break. It's basically break, and then a new phrase. If you just mash the words together, there's no break, and now you're leaving it up to the algorithm. This is the same exact question as before. You're leaving it up to the algorithm to try to piece together all the words into different actual search terms and words that are important and phrases that are important. And instead, you should be guiding them with these spaces. So a dash is 3 spaces. It's space dash space. So it's basically 3 spaces. So it's very, very strong isolation. A comma is just 2 spaces, but it's still more isolation than just letting it run together.
Okay, and you recommend doing that for sure?
Yeah, for sure. You don't want to just have one run-on thing because Amazon's algorithm just isn't smart enough sometimes.
Okay, well, I just don't understand because why are they the top products in the niche then?
Like it could be just historical, like they got grandfathered in, they've established it in other ways. They had like their PPC signals. The algorithm just read it the right way that time. Okay. But that person will struggle with new launches potentially.
Okay.
So their success rate's probably lower than someone that does it right.
Okay, gotcha.
But, but as they say, a broken clock is right twice a day, right?
Even a blind squirrel gets a nut sometimes.
There you go.
All right, thank you.
No problem. Aparna, did we get it right? No, still can't hear you. Hopefully we figure that out. John.
Yeah, I guess just from a conversion perspective, when you do that, I can see your ranking juice, but you end up with something that's not particularly readable to my eyesight to a consumer. So I guess you don't worry about
So what I would say is, when's the last time you read every word in the title? Now there are the exceptions, people do it, but the vast majority of people read the first 5 words and look at the picture, make sure they match in their mind, like the picture matches the first 5 words they read. It's relevant to what they want to buy, and they click in, and then they start looking at the rest of the images, and then maybe the top bullet, the top of the A+, they circle back up, and then what they're trying to do, the psychology of a buyer typically is they need to check a box. What is the benefit or the pain point that they're trying to solve? And so that's why it's really important to know who your avatar is, who's buying this product. What are they trying to solve? What are they trying to accomplish? What are they trying to check off in their mind before they say, okay, that's the one I want? If you know those things, you need to write them into your listing, design your images, do everything to design to speak to them, to check that box. If you fail to do that, they're going to go to someone else that does it.
Got it. Okay, thanks.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, so this one to me is more readable than most. I know it's large dog beds for large dogs, but it's also washable dog bed and furniture dog beds for medium dogs, puppy, XL. Like at the end, I could put like multiple sizes and colors available. Like you could put something that isn't going to matter because it's not going to index too much anyway, and you want people to click in if they do read through. They're like, oh, I'm looking for a small one. This says large and extra large and puppy. Oh, and then they'll see like small, medium, large. You could throw those other words at the end just to say like, you know, like we have it all. Just click in and get stuck in our listing and buy ours. Hey, John.
I'm good.
All right, cool.
Hey,
Simon.
Yeah, so it's going back to my question from before. And sorry if I'm jumping the gun, you were just going to get to it later, but so it seems like you're not really factoring in the keyword specific conversion rate here, right? You're just basically going off of the juice score. Which...
Yeah, we don't know it yet, right? So that's going to come when we get to the PPC performance.
Oh, got it. Okay.
And we're going to get to our PPC launch strategy and then our optimization strategy, which is going to have a lot to do with with the conversion rate.
Got it. So at this point, you're really just only focused on the juice score, and then when you target the PPC, or when you target with PPC, then you're really focused on the keyword conversion rates.
Exactly.
And going after the highest, like
so we're just making sure there's no holes in indexing. We're maximizing the score with that in mind, and then that's the foundation that's going to put us way ahead of everyone else at launch, and then that'll be a really big head start. And then we need to start iterating and optimizing.
Got it. All right, sounds good. Thank you.
No problem. Rick, what's up, man?
Hey, great class as usual. So how do
How's
you
the boy
select-
doing? Is he following along?
Yeah, he's there. He's still here.
All right. How's it? I bet this makes more sense to him than it does to you.
Maybe I'm getting old and senile.
I feel the same way.
So when you're writing a title, you know, some keywords are really high, like this dog bed one. Would you choose that one over a lesser search volume word to achieve that rank easier, quicker? You know, like, should you go after like the monster keywords or more of a medium keyword?
So you've got to include them to establish relevancy. But the reality is the conversion rate on the PPC is likely going to be less because it's very competitive. The PPC, the cost per click is going to be much higher typically, right?
Yeah.
And you can't realistically stay ranked well for those big keywords without establishing a lot of good conversion on a lot of other keywords. So you need a foundation. You need a lot of other keywords. Then you can work your way up and start chipping away at the big keyword like dog bed.
All right, so you would prioritize a medium volume keyword at the beginning of the title, like you did here in dog bed, is kind of towards the end. So you need to have the giant one there, but you need to prioritize like the medium volume keywords is kind of what I'm hearing.
Correct. Yeah. You need to have it. You definitely need to prioritize both for sure.
All right, thanks.
Sahid.
Hey, Brandon. I'm just confused on one very small thing. What exactly is an outlier? I get confused understanding that, like outlier keywords that you have in the tool.
Yeah.
And if you can just...
I just want to show people one thing really quickly, right? So what we have here, and if I can, I've got outlier keywords and outlier search volume. There are 15 additional keywords that this guy is ranked well for that maybe only one other of the 30 are ranked well for. And it equals an additional 384,000 search volume, which is significant, right? And then these guys are all ranked for another set of keywords. Like the next most is 11 outliers with 252, 13 with 93,000 search volume. So these are keywords that only one or two competitors are taking advantage of. Generally, what this means is that they're going to be, and we can look at them right here in the outlier keyword section and see what they are. Look at this. This one is the only one that's ranked well for cat bed. 157,000 search volume. He's number one. That's the magic right there, is that he's got smaller sizes that can also fit for a cat. And he did a good job of indexing and establishing that he was also a cat bed, not just a dog bed. Two completely different products, and managed to pull it off. It's very difficult to do. And that's why he's got double the sales of the next guy, is because he's hitting two huge niches, cat bed and dog bed. Now, if you look across all these other dog beds, this guy's number 27. He's the only other one that's on the first page of cat bed. Oh, yeah, 26 and 28. These guys are at the bottom of the page. Yeah, and 61. But he's the leader. And then you got clearance. He's number 12. Managed to get the clearance keyword. Cat beds for indoor cats. Look at that. Another cat bed keyword, number 1. Cat beds, plural, number 1. And dog mat. The word mat is a new root word that we didn't have before, right? So I know a puppy mat can potentially be, you know, like a pee pad. Maybe that's a puppy pad. So mat, it can be something that they lay on. So that's interesting. That root word is here with 12,000. And these two are the two that are here. We got 20 here. So we got 3 in the top 20 of this. This shouldn't be necessarily an outlier. I guess we do it by percentage now, and it's low enough. It's below 18%. So it's 16%. Yeah. And then if you scroll down even more, you got cat beds for indoor cat clearance. Again, clearance and cat bed, 2 roots in here. Indoor cats is probably another whole root. Rabbit bed. Look at that. Not just dogs, not just cats, but also rabbits. Number 5. He's got all the animals. He's got the whole farm in here that he's indexed for. He did a great job. This is why he's got double the sales of everyone. Now the story makes sense. If you can't paint the story and understand why has this guy got so many more sales than everyone else, then there's something wrong. You gotta fill in the blanks, and you've got to understand how are the competitors getting their sales? Are they the real deal? And that's what we've been able to do. So outliers are important because, like, what if I'm writing my listing and I'm going to compete in this space and I want to also compete for cat bed, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to click all these cat bed keywords, right? And I'm going to click dog mat because I think that's a new one. But let me just put cat and cat beds for indoor cat clearance. Cat bed cave is the enclosed one. That's not what we're selling. Not a donut. I've seen those on TV or on TikTok or something. Elevated cat bed, small cat bed, large cat bed, donut, not a donut. Okay. So we've got those cats. And then, so these outlier keywords can be gold. They generally are going to be more generic keywords. They're going to be like toys for 3-year-old girls, or exactly this, pet supplies. Major root word, like outlier generic keyword, pet supplies. Let's see who's ranked well for it. If we scroll all the way, this guy's number 29 for it. That's the best. Verzi. Yeah. Only one seller was 29, and this guy's 93 for pet supplies. Probably not getting a lot of sales from it. Probably not something I want to target. It's not going to convert well. If I go and search, and then what we do is we give you the ability to go search really quickly so I can just see like what is ranking well for that. And I've got like the poop bags, I've got oils, I've got shampoos, I've got flea stuff, I've got, that's definitely not a keyword that I'm going to target because it's not going to convert well. So let's see this cat bed. I want to see what other cat beds there are. Look at this. You got the house, but these look like dog beds, just small dog beds, right? There's the dome, or the whatever they called it, the half dome, the igloo. That's cute. Again, these look like dog beds. A lot of these look like dog beds. Does that answer your question about outliers and what they are?
Yeah, thank you very much.
And then by selecting them, I've added them over here. Oh, maybe I had to actually, hold on. Oh, I had to actually click it. Hold on. I don't want clearance. There's elevated cat bed. If you're going to sell an elevated dog bed, then you could sell the elevated cat bed. Small cat bed, large dog bed. There you go. but let's pretend we're not going to sell the elevated. So now I've added these right over, and if I come back over here, I've got them right at the top. Well, now they'll be by search volume, or they'll be at the top of the relevancy. But you see outlier, third biggest keyword is cat bed now. And 3 of the top 10 are cat bed related. That's why this guy is absolutely kicking everyone's ass. And he can be even better at Amazon. That's the crazy part. But he's done something right? All right, what was the next question?
No, I
lost
think
you
that
there.
was,
That was it?
yeah, thank you.
All right. Look at that. I'm missing cat bed now. There we go. Now I got exact match cat bed. 4.5 million search volume, like ranking juice now. I've got a better listing than the guy that is the bestseller, potentially. I just got to throw a ton of money, $1 million at this product, and I can do good. The big risk product. All right, who is next? Rachel. You were muted.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, gotcha.
Okay, so theoretically, this title here, is this the parent ASIN?
Yeah, this would be the parent and the hero. Like this is kind of like what I would want the hero to look like as well. So it's very broad. The parent would be something similar to this. That it's very broad. And then
So if it's a hero, you're writing, you're putting in medium, large, all sizes. So the hero will be either the large, probably the smaller one, right? Because it's cheaper.
Exactly.
So then this
will be the parent.
So this will probably be the parent, right?
Yeah, yeah.
You really stuff everything into the parent. Do you make the parent really good?
Yeah, that's the goal, right?
Or is the hero more important? Which one's more important?
I will also the hero is going to carry the keyword ranks for all these keywords. So I want to establish this one to show up. Now, if colors are involved, then I don't stuff the colors into the hero. I want the color specific picture to show up because the image is actually the variation image. So that's the unique part about the variations is that the what they read is the parent, but what they see is the actual picture of the variation that carries the keyword ranks. So I would want the parent to be broad, and I'd want the hero to be also broad because I want it to show up and have the best ranking juice for most of these keywords that are these specific types of variation keywords like sizes, and packs maybe. But like if it's a color specific or style specific, then and I need that one to show up, then I'm going to push that one. Does that make sense?
Still a little confused. So in the hero, you're going to put in sizes that are not relevant just because you want to push it?
Because once they click in, they'll see all the sizes. They'll be able to select which one they want.
So you won't be worried it says extra large, even if this is the medium variation.
Yeah, I won't be worried because it'll just default to select the hero, and then they'll change the size that they want.
Okay. And then when you're going to track, if we're hitting, the rankings we're trying to hit, are you going to track that on parent level, or are you going to track every child?
Definitely on the parent level. And when you track on the parent level, it checks all variations, and then it'll tell you which one's ranked for which variation is ranked for which, like if they're different.
Where does it tell you that?
If you're using Helium 10, next to the keyword or underneath the keyword, they have the ASIN.
Oh yeah, I never saw that. They only let you track either the whole variation together or each child ASIN separately. You can't do both for the same ASIN.
Yeah. So what the best thing to do is track the parent, and then you can see which variation is showing up for the keyword, the rank that they're showing you.
You can do the parent with all children included.
Yeah, that's better. So that way you don't have to track 7 different individuals and piece it together. You'd end up with your own master keyword list to try to figure out if you're ranking good.
Or 100 child ASINs.
Yeah, exactly. It makes it even
more. Okay, thank you.
All right, no problem.
One more question, if I could put that in.
Yeah.
On the top of the master keyword list, where it gives you the percentage of search volume, what does it mean overall? 90% of search volume. 90% of what?
90% of the routes. Overall listing.
No, like on the top of the master keyword list, on the top right-hand side, it tells you total percentage of search value,
Oh,
like in that circle.
I think might have to expand it here.
Yeah, that circle there is 114% of what?
The total visible versus the total search volume
Visible? What do you mean by visible? Visible where?
here on the master keyword list. So now that we've brought over keywords from the outliers, we actually have more search volume than was previously visible.
So
It is, or
this
total
circle-
search volume. So or now we have more visible than was total search volume for this niche previously.
right, because you were in the outlier.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
this circle here is like not complete because what's missing? What's the
It just doesn't know how
114%?
to deal with 14%. So it lapped itself.
Okay, but generally speaking, like if it tells you 90% here, 90% what?
Yeah, so that means 90% is visible because you've removed some of the keywords with exclusion.
Oh, well, like if you take out branded and stuff like that, it's gonna
yeah,
go
yeah,
down.
which you should. You should clean up the list.
Oh, okay, so it's really not important.
It can be, right? Like once you clean up the list, if 40% of the search volume is there, that shows you that most of the keywords you can't get sales on that you removed are actually pretty significant. It's a significant percentage. So it's another way for you to really understand how risky the product is and how good those branded keywords are, or those keywords you can't duplicate are.
Got you. Thank you so much.
If that's a big gap, if this percentage is really low, that's a warning sign.
Okay. Thank you.
After you clean up the list.
Great.
And just so everyone knows, like cleaning up the list means removing all the routes you just wouldn't use. Like for example, if we're not worried about selling against an elevated, like some of these are elevated. And I'm taking out a phrase that's 2 keywords, 33,000 search volume that I just excluded, right? Now, I don't have to see that anymore. But I would go through and I would pick out the keywords, the roots, and the like things I don't want, including all the brand names, and make sure that this list is what I think I can rank for, so I know the true opportunity. Hey, Porgian, are you there? Do you have a question? Wei?
Hi,
Yeah.
can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
So I had the initial question similar to what people had asked before. Is it really okay to just put in all the keywords or in the title?
Yeah, so what we did here though is when we were building it, we were doing that as much as we could, but we were conscious of making sure we also had all the roots. And we didn't we didn't have any holes, right? So we have
So Amazon would-
now, right? But we're
Amazon
missing
would not
cat bed.
would Amazon actually flag this down as not appropriate if we put in all these keywords?
No, I've never had that issue. I don't know if you guys have or not. I've never had that issue with any of my listings where Amazon doesn't, because you're describing the product and then your listing has all of these options.
All right. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Sorry, one more question. Given that Data Drive has all these data, do we still need to use Helium 10, or this would actually just extract the data out directly from Helium 10?
Yeah, so now we partnered with Jungle Scout, and you don't need any subscription besides Data Dive. So you can run Data Dive and run these dives without having any other subscription. Helium 10, Jungle Scout, anything.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Yeah, the solution that you need probably for the next month until we release ours would be the keyword tracker. And then for product discovery, I like Jungle Scout's product discovery tool, and they have a good sourcing tool too. A couple other good tools. So, a mix of different softwares. Neil.
Hey, what should we do with our brand name? Should it be, they say to put it at the beginning of the title?
I always put in the beginning. I don't take the chance of Amazon trying to rewrite my listing to put it in the beginning, because I'll end up getting de-indexed for everything.
Okay, so no matter what, just put it in the beginning and bite the bullet and
Yeah, I don't take that chance. I know some people are riskier than I am, but I'm not gonna play that game. Just make sure your brand name's short.
All right, man. Thank you.
No problem. Linda Lee, how are you?
Hi, Brandon. Can you hear me?
Yeah, how are you?
Hi, good. So my question is, you mentioned, I just heard you mention earlier that we have to add the information to also the parent ASIN, like all the keywords and things like that.
Yeah, I like to write the parent and the hero in a very similar way to get to maximize, you know, the indexing to depending on where Amazon's going to pull it from.
Okay,
Because I'm maximizing my indexing and I'm maximizing my ranking potential here.
Okay, yeah. Many years ago, Amazon told me. Yeah. Many years ago, Amazon told me not to have any information on the parent ASIN. They told me basically to try to leave it blank, and that information on the parent ASIN would conflict with the child ASIN. But
The problem with that is that this might have changed because now the parent listing is what shows up. The title of the parent is what shows up in the search results now. The only thing that's different is that the hero variation that shows up is the picture, and then at the end is going to be the variation name in the box in the parentheses. It's going to say like small dog bed brown, right, comma brown or whatever. It's going to have the variation at the end, but the whole title is going to be the parent.
Oh.
Yeah, when you search on Amazon and you find a listing with a bunch of variations, that title is the same for all the variations because that's the parent title, but the back end variation title is different. And the only way you can distinguish what the difference is because the variation is in the brackets at the end.
Okay.
It'll say like this. It'll go like you know, small small
right.
Bed.
Yeah, I have seen that. Yeah. Okay, I just wasn't, because I think I still had some of my parent ASINs pretty much blank. So I guess I have to go back and update them.
Yeah, and this indexes, guys. So when you name all of your variations, make sure you're naming it keywords that you want to get extra credit for. This is where you can get some additional, like to make sure you get these size specific keywords in there.
That's from the child ASINs, right?
Yeah, that'll be in the children. That'll be in the children, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
No problem. Baptiste.
Bye.
Hey, Brendan. I've seen in the inner circle that ChatGPT might be playing a role in the listing building of DataDive. So I'm quite curious about the high-level perspective you can give us about that. And in the meantime, if it's ever going to be implemented, how to use ChatGPT to help us in that process.
This button may or may not be a beta of clicking a button and letting it write the listing for you. We're really close to releasing that. I think that you know, to be able to maximize the ranking juice and also hit all of this is solvable and something that the AI can do. Let's get through these last two quickly, and then I'll get Aparna's, and then we'll go. How's it going?
Yeah, hi, Brendan. Good, Brendan. Just a quick question. Can we duplicate the keywords that we put in title in the listing as well?
You can, but it's not recommended, right? Like you wouldn't want to put dog beds for medium dogs also in the bullets, because then you're giving Amazon the opportunity to give you less credit.
Okay.
It doesn't stack. You're not getting more credit by having it twice.
Okay.
You're just giving Amazon an opportunity to take it from an area, to recognize it in an area that they give you less credit.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Simon.
Yeah, hi, Brandon. Can you hear me?
Yep.
So regarding what you just discussed with Linda regarding the parent ASIN, as far as I know, that's not in most categories. most categories, the parent ASIN is just an invisible ASIN that holds the whole variation.
That's
and
true.
the title doesn't show up anywhere. So
It doesn't show up. It's just the title that shows up.
right, but the title from the parent ASIN does not show up. That's what I mean. So what I have just, let's say, just dog-vet in the parent ASIN, and every single variation child has a separate title, and that's what is showing up on Amazon.
Ah, so you're saying that the parent
It's just the
because
invisible
this one,
thing.
orthopedic dog bed, bolster, couch, dog bed for large dogs. This is what's different on this title. This is what I recognize as the parent title. So you're
that's
saying
not
this
in
is, you think this is the child title.
Yeah, so that's not in most categories, only like an apparel category, stuff like that. In most home and kitchen categories, the parent ASIN is just an invisible ASIN.
Okay, that's the difference. Okay.
So in those categories, that's the question that like a lot of people ask. And that category should we still put in any keywords in the title or something? Because Amazon requires only to put in like a few words for the title and leave it mostly blank. The condition type and then the variation information. That's all for the parent ASIN.
Okay, that's a great way. That's a good distinguishing like point then. So my understanding was only relevant for a few categories, but other categories are different. So if you're in apparel, maybe this is the same way because there are so many size and probably any subcategory where you have a lot of sizes and colors. They probably do it that way. But you're saying like in home and kitchen, maybe in toys, right? Like where I'm at, then it's the variation title that's showing up. We just don't have a lot of it. Okay. All right. No, that's good to know. And that's so it would be testing. Colin, do you know more on that?
Yeah, if you put just the size, your parent title will be show up. If you have style or any other thing, color name or anything, your child will be show up completely.
Okay. So what is the trigger to show the parent title?
Size actually.
Size. Okay.
Yeah. If you have size.
So I should just do a general title for the parent and then just add the size.
That's the hack actually what we can use. Basically, you use the parent title with a generic keyword, which could be attract your customer, but inside the child, you can stuff keyword however you want actually. So it's not going to show up any point actually.
Okay. So if you have size variations, then it shows the parent and you want the parent to be generic and very selling and get them to click, right? And then this is what you're saying. And then but then the what matters for the indexing and for the ranking juice will be what you write on the back end that they don't see.
The back end and then a child title actually.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
That's good to distinguish like what that trigger is, but because it's different depending on the subcategory and the variation style. So Ryan says, I'm seeing that too. My parent ASIN is hidden and only my child ASINs are shown. But so what we're talking about is what's showing up in the search results, what people can read when they actually go and search. So are they reading your title of your parent or are they reading the individual child that's showing up in the search result? Yeah. Okay. And so what is your child parent relationship, like variation relationship? Is it size, color, multi-packs? And Nathan says it's depends on the top level category. So automotive, even with size variation, the child still shows up. Sports and outdoors, the parent title shows, and apparel as well.
I don't think you might have like a size or size and color. You may have like a color and size actually.
Home and health, size and color. And your parents still show up. All right, guys. So this is a great lesson of that. Things are different from category to category on Amazon, and you should learn that. And then you should optimize what people are reading in the first, maybe in the first 5 to 10 words to make sure. And then you can stuff like those. If the parent's going to show up, you want to display that you have multiple sizes. That's what I would do. So I would want them to see that I have, 6 different sizes, 12 different colors to choose from as a keyword, even though that's not very good for indexing, because your main indexing is going to come from your hero. That makes sense?
You can you can do something exactly reverse. So let's say your parent was like not showing up, so you can keyword stuff on your parent, and then that will be rank juicing will be for your child actually as well. Index
Yeah.
will be for
I know it
child as well.
contributes for sure. Yeah. It's a good way to make sure you don't have any holes in your indexing. So the main lessons to take away is that you need to understand how it's going to be displayed, what people are reading in the search results, and then make sure you're not missing any indexing for any of the root words. Like that bestseller that we see in the dog beds, they don't have large dog beds or beds for large dogs anywhere in any of the variations or the parent. And that's the problem with why they're not ranked in the top 5 for any of those large dog bed keywords or whatever, because they would immediately rank for them because they have a lot of positive, they have a lot of credit in the bank, I can assure you, based on the performance of all the other keywords that they're on. And so this is the lesson that we're trying to convey, is that this is a very complicated business, writing your listing, testing it, taking words in and out from the parent level to the children level, and all of it matters. Oh, Baptiste, you can actually say that out loud, like that's fine. So you did an experiment with AI. So you hit the AI button. Yeah, tell us about that. You use the beta?
Yeah, so what I did is, you know, on a nascent that works all right for us, I thought I was gonna be a little cheeky and trying your easy button. And from the research in my niche pipeline, I had a bunch of very different tables, because we're selling in furniture, lots of different style. And so there was a bunch of generic keywords that came out of the highest ranking title. And I thought, you know, because my parent is not visible, then, you know, I've got like 6 variation on that. I just took a little gamble and took the highest juice for generic keyword, plus a couple of other significant color and sizes, but the highest possible juice. And I updated from actually the graphic user interface, didn't do a flat file update. And it's been just 3 days, but on these 6 days in, the result has been almost instant. So, you know, after it was updated, the next day and the day after, consistently it's been hitting a threshold that we haven't had for months and months. So
that's
I
amazing.
thought it was quite interesting.
No, that's awesome. I love to see the results of like that, because it is, if you've got the credit in the bank and you just weren't unlocking it, now you unlock it, right? Because the performance was there. You're running ads, you're spending a lot of money to get traffic, but Amazon's that multiplier of that relevancy is the piece you need to unlock, and you need to write your listing properly. And that needs to upstream from the keyword research. You can't do it any other way. Love to see it. All right, guys. Let's see. I want to just go back over here. Let's go a couple best practices that we wrote, including the brand name is fine. Make sure it's early, keep it early and keep it short. First section of the title should clearly explain what the product is. So that first title, don't stuff like a bunch of words that don't make sense for what the product is just because like they're in there. Use that very descriptive hero search word so that people know exactly what they're clicking on. It needs to match the picture, otherwise they won't click. You'll hurt your click-through rate. Using a break only uses 2 characters and makes it a little bit more readable. Fill title up. This is also to isolate keywords and phrases. Fill title up to 200 keywords, but focus on the first 150 like we discussed. Remember, after 150 characters, the indexing value goes way down in the title. Never include keywords that are relevant for just for ranking juice. So don't target cowboy dog hat if you're selling a baseball dog hat, for example. You wouldn't want to do that. It's not going to help you. You're not going to perform, and you're just wasting that real estate. More for bullets, you make it readable. So the update that we've just tested is that all characters are indexed even after 1,000 characters. It used to be that only the first 1,000 characters, and then it was we thought it was the first 200 from each bullet. But really, it's all of them. You can make really long bullets, and Amazon will still recognize all of them. but we still think a best practice is to keep your bullets shorter, readable, 200 characters max each, and then you still make sure you're indexing everything. Make them shorter, clearer to focus. You spread out across, up to 10 bullets too. So you could do 100 characters, 150 characters per bullet. You'll still get, and I think that's why they've expanded it from 1,000 characters, because they've moved to 10 bullets in a lot of categories. So you can make a lot of descriptive, selling points there. In mobile, bullets are now below A+. So you've got images, A+, and then bullets. So a lot of shoppers don't get down there. But if they do, you want to have some relevant information. Just focus on the first couple, because usually people will read the first couple before the most, right? So you want to make sure that that's the selling point. That's the psychology to the buyer. That's where you need to make sure you check the box that they need to check in their mind to purchase your product, that, you're hitting the psychological benefit. Benefits and features, very important. That's the top bullet. Benefits and feature, and images. Anthony's going to have great practices here for you to get your content right for your launches to maximize your success. So he's going to come in soon and do that next. And then reference reviews, reinforce positive elements rather than the focusing on the competitor and negatives. So talk about your features. Don't talk about anything negative. You want people in a good mood to buy, and then use bullets to rank, use images to sell.